It's,
Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay.
And we're doing a Facebook Live as well, or?
it's the same. Basically, it goes to
Oh,
Facebook
good.
Live, and that is the recording, and then I do things to it.
Perfect.
Okay, so Adam, you want to do your share of the Zoom instructions, please?
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think of what Zoom instructions. If we have yes, no votes, there is, if you scroll down to the bottom of your screen, you'll get a whole bunch of different kind of things. You can pull up chat and all that kind of stuff, but there's also reactions. And so if you could give us the raise hands when we call for votes, that's very helpful. And if you ever have a point in which you want to say something, feel free to raise your hand, and then we'll know that you're waiting to speak.
Okay, thank you. So it is 6:04, and I'm going to call the meeting to order at this point. Where are we with roll call?
I am almost there. I think we probably will have it, but I'm missing.
We're all present. The board is present.
Oh, the board. Yes, board is yes.
All members of the board are present. Yeah, so we're good.
Okay, do we
We
have
have a
a
quorum.
quorum to vote for our minutes from last month?
I am checking that right now.
Okay,
I don't have it quite yet, but I'll. Yeah, we're like one person shy, so
We can go back.
okay. We
Let
can
me
come
just-
back to that in a minute. Hopefully that one person will show up. So we're gonna move on to Darlene and the financial report.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My report tonight will just be the annual report. I give one every year just to summarize what we've started with, what we've spent, and our balance. So we started with $6,242.04, and we wrote only 3 checks. As you know, with the pandemic, we limited a lot of our extracurricular activities. So one check for $100 was early in the year was sent to the Circle of Care. Lieutenant Fumiati had requested. These are all board voted on distribution. So the board votes and then we distribute the funds. So we submitted $100 to his request. The second one was for Halloween, a block party in the Ferry Street, and I think it was Chatham. I'm not sure of the cross street, but it was in Ferry Street. Diane, what's that cross street?
Chatham.
Chatham, it was Chatham. Okay.
Mhm.
So there was a Halloween block party and we donated $250 for that, for food, little treats, etc., for the block party. And then the third check was in the amount of $335. It was a food donation for the Ecton family following the tragic death of Diane's daughter just a month or 2 ago. And the balance, as a result of those 3 checks, our balance today is $5,557.04. So that's our total, our annual report. And if there are any questions anybody has or comments, please speak up. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have. No? Okay,
No.
then that's our report, and I will report next month on my usual treasurer's report. Thank you.
Okay, so are we ready to vote?
Yes, we have quorum.
Okay. Alrighty. Everybody's in favor to approve the minutes.
Yes, right.
Raise your hands or
Raise your-
whatever.
Yep.
Let's see. Share. Oops. How do you do? Oh, that, I think I raised my hand.
Yeah, any reaction will be fine. And yeah, that's, I see a couple people actually just physically raising their hand. So I'll add 1, 2, 3, 4 to the count. All right. So yeah, all right. And then go ahead and put your hand down.
I can put my hand down.
Oh, I can put your hand down.
Thank you.
Lower hands, lower hands. All right. So if you want to do no's or abstentions.
Okay, voting in favor of fire is our meeting. Notes from last month. Everybody who's in favor, we've already done that. Is there any abstentions? Okay, thank you. So the minutes passed from last month. Alrighty, financial, we did that. I am going to read a report that Carmen gave me. She called me today. She was homesick. So I will read what she has to say as far as giving this information. She apologizes to them for everyone that she will be missing this meeting. She is looking for 12 people to serve on a logistic committee and the marketing committee for the spring Fairhaven community wide cleanup. If they wish to commit their time and their efforts, please give her a call at 527. Please emphasize that I do need at least 12 people to make this cleanup happen. I will be happy to meet with them at their convenience. That was her report for the month. So do anyone need me to repeat the phone number? Okay.
If you could
All
repeat
right.
it, I'll put it in the chat and then
Her
people.
I
number-
was gonna say it's Carmen's number. It's in
It's
the
on the agenda.
agenda
Yeah,
as well.
It's right next to number 5. It's right next to her name. But you can put it in the chat. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to our citizens review board. Jalen Carter.
He is unfortunately unable to be here tonight.
Okay.
But I don't think there are any updates from him this time.
All righty then. Thank you. Economic development.
Madam Chair.
Economic development.
Sorry, Lee.
Madam Chair,
Oh.
Diane.
I'm
May I
sorry,
please-
guys. That was the interruption of my grandbaby. Sure.
Diane, it's Lee Cruz. May I say something? At the executive committee meeting, we discussed that we put J1 on the agenda for every month, but that he would just come be with us once a quarter to just give us an update more often if something happens in Fairhaven, but at least once a quarter. And the reason why we put his name on the agenda is that every month we want to remind people with his Gmail address that's listed there, that if you have an issue with the police, you can write directly to him as a member of the Civilian Review Board. And there is a process, there is a form that he will then make available to you. But that's the reason why he's on the agenda, even though he's not with us tonight. We do expect him in March and then every quarter. Thank you.
Okay. Economic development update, Kathleen.
Hi, everyone.
All right.
Hi. Let's see. I want to, if anyone has any particular question about a project, but I can also just run through the updates that I got from my colleagues. Some of you may already know a lot of this, but let's just go through them all quickly. Strong School RFP. The RFP is in its still in draft stages, but I understand it's more final draft stages, and that will roll out soon. Lee, Sarah, if you have different information than that, please let me know. I also asked Kathy Schroeder what's happening with the new, for lack of a better word, the brownstones that Fairhaven is renting right now, the clinic. They're still renting that, which of course, that's a wonderful community there. Sorry, I'm trying to read emails and talk to you at the same time. So that I don't have an update as to like a date for that, but Armada at 190 River Street should be ready to open in late March or April. Gigantic Studios is still working on their land disposition agreement with the city for, again, that's 4656 River Street and 112 Chapel Street. These things take a while. It's not like there's just a few meetings and then the agreement is done there, as you can imagine, pretty lengthy. So I'm not sure a date for that, but it's not like it's stopped. And unfortunately, the grant funding for cleanup that the city partnered with Freshta on, we were not successful. But the next round of that cleanup funding from DECD will probably be made available in August. And I believe that the city would like to reapply for that with Freshta. Freshta, I think I see you on the call. Again, if anyone has other information than this, or somehow it differs, let me know. But the city wants to go ahead, of course, and try and get that next round of funding. And I think that's it. I apologize for the noise in the background. I think that's it. Yep.
I think you have a question from Suzanne. Go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify the comments about the I think you were referring to 342, 346, and 350 Grand,
Yes.
which is the corner of Grand and Lloyd.
Yes.
So in December, we previously owned 350 that was sold to the city as part, and they already owned 342, the corner unit. And then there was the middle unit, which we did a transaction with the then owner, Mr. Sacco. Bottom line is the city now owns all three of those buildings, and with plans to renovate them all into residential units. They are allowing us to stay in 350 at least through June, which, as many of you know, is where we're now doing our testing, COVID testing out of that site. But I think that, we all felt that this was really good news because we were able to package together the three buildings. The alders approved it and is on track, or at least that's what we're told by the city, to get renovated and into more residents. So, what is now clearly an eyesore, hopefully will be a much welcome addition to that section of Fairhaven. So just wanted to clarify that for you, Kathleen.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't think anything involving the clinic is an eyesore of any sort. It's a tremendous.
That corner
value.
has its issues.
I know, and it just hasn't. There's been no investment lately on those buildings. So and that'll change. But I don't have anything else for right now. If anyone has any other questions, I see.
What about the orchard? You don't have anything on that?
Oh, Lyman Orchards.
Yes.
Yes, we await a date when they are going to start operating. And they'll have a grand opening celebration. And they hired, I'm pretty sure it's a double-digit number of hires. And a lot of those hires were Something Sweet employees, which is just wonderful. I think that Lyman, though, will have more shifts. I'm pretty sure Something Sweet didn't run 5 full shifts a week, but I think Lyman is running at least 5 full shifts, like shift 1 a week. So it's more jobs in that location that was there in the past. And I think that they want to start operating. I'm pretty sure that it'll be in the spring, early spring.
Great.
Just a quick clarification, Kathleen, regarding the Strong School building, the document that is now in discussion at the committee is actually the final report of the consultants. Once that report is approved, then it will be made available to the entire community to read. And then it's based on that report that the city will develop the RFP, request for proposal, for developers to develop the building. But as soon as the report is finished, then we'll send that out. And Alder Miller, Diane, and myself are on the committee in addition to people from the city. Thank
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Our vision in action. Responsive, transparent government, economic community development. Is there anything up on that one other than our CDBG presentations?
There's also Freshta has a short presentation as well, besides and Match is looking for a not technically CDBG, but a letter of support as well.
I'm sorry, Adam, I did not hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Clearly.
Beyond people asking for letters of recommendation, Freshta also has a short presentation.
Okay. All right, so our first presenter would be Community Action Agency, Bianca Bowles.
Good evening, everyone. I'm actually going to yield to my colleague, Diane. I'm sorry again, so I'm sending you a virtual hug. And Patty, will you give it away? She's going to be presenting on our letter of support we're asking. We applied for a CDBG grant, and Patty, take it away.
Hi, so if it's okay, I'm going to share my screen with the presentation.
Okay.
And as I'm doing this, I'm going to introduce, my name's Patty. I'm the director of the Family Services Department at Community Action Agency of New Haven. And as Bianca said, we are looking for a letter of support for our CDBG grant. We are asking for $40,000 from the grant, and it's for our Financial Capability Center. Karan Green is the coordinator. He was unable to be here tonight, so I am presenting on his behalf. The CAN mission is to offer pathways to prosperity to those in poverty in the greater New Haven area through service collaboration, advocacy, and knowledge generation. Our Capability Center model is a program that focuses on improving the financial bottom line for low to moderate income families and helping people change their financial behavior in ways that encourages a long-term commitment to increasing income, decreasing expenses, decreasing debt, building credit, and acquiring assets. And this is accomplished at CAN through employment coaching, financial coaching, income supports, VITA, and individualized case management. Employment coaching consists of job readiness, essential skill training, and job placements. Financial coaching and literacy focuses on solving specific problems such as high debt, eviction prevention, and working through a coaching relationship on long-term financial interventions, which is budgeting, credit checks, and saving tips and tools. We do income supports. This could be energy assistance, doing SNAP applications, medical applications through with Husky, but also we help with anything, Care for Kids applications, FAFSA. If there's any type of income support, my staff is able to do the application on the client's behalf or to assist them with it. We also are beginning our VITA program that's kicking off on February the 15th. Last year, we were able to do 200, excuse me, 200 individuals. Bank On is a partner also, and Bank On links our residents with certified, safe, and affordable bank accounts with very low fees, and there's 0 overdraft fees. It makes banking a lot easier for people who are living week to week, to be quite honest. And who is eligible for this program? All applicants must demonstrate that they live within our catchment area, which is all the havens: New Haven, East Haven, West Haven, North Haven, and Hamden. They need at least one of the 3 core services that I said earlier: case management, employment, financial, or income supports. The household income is at or below the 200% of the federal poverty guideline. So for a single person, the gross monthly income of $2,127. And I believe they just came out with a new FPL, and I think it's gone up by about $150. So I would be happy to send that out when I get back into the office tomorrow and get the exact number for you. The referral process, it's typically through our triage case manager, Sherry Daniels, and she'll do the full assessment. If they're eligible for the program, they will be referred to it, or clients, potential clients can either call Karan, the coordinator, or myself. And so some fun facts that Karan put together: in the year of 2021, 200 clients got their tax returns done. 80 clients created budgeting sheets and were able to do the actual budget. It was a realistic budget that they were able to live by. Another 85 clients received 2 out of the 3 services. 17 received 3 of the 3 services. And we had 5 clients that were approved for the Castle program. One was awarded $1,200, another $2,000. Something Karan didn't put here is also we had clients, we always go into CT Big List. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's unclaimed properties in Connecticut. And if you go, you just do ctbiglist.com, you put in your name, and if you have any unclaimed property or assets, money, it'll show up. We are able to get that notarized for you, send it off to the Treasury Department. And we had one client who received over $8,000 in money he had no idea was sitting there for him.
Wow.
And yeah. And with the CDBG grant, we want to make this program richer. So we're going to start doing workshops, and each workshop will consist of 4 sessions. There's an employment session, income support, savings, and financial literacy. If a client can make all 4 sessions, they're going to leave with a $100 Visa gift card at the end of that workshop for their perfect attendance. They're going to be provided with bus passes if transportation is a barrier for them. They will be given lunch at every single session that they come to. And we also plan on hiring a part-time case manager to assist with the program. So we want to hire someone from the community to help the community. And in addition to this, we also see that, some clients are able to go through job trainings like CNA classes, but then they hit a roadblock. They're not able to pay for the CNA class, or they're not able to buy their uniforms. So with this money, we'll be able to assist with paying for those testings and paying for them to get uniforms to get them started into the job that they want to be in. The goals and outcomes. So we want to serve at least 150 clients. Create a baseline budget that is realistic. Some clients, they do a budget, they're not thinking about the coffee that they get every morning. They're not understanding where their money goes. So we need to bring them in and let them create a budget that is realistic and something that they can sit by. And we want to do a minimum of 70 participants that are willing to participate in the coaching. And we want to at least place 40 clients into jobs. So if anyone has any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them. And again, this is for a letter of support for our CDBG grant.
Jennifer in the chat wants to know, what kind of jobs do people get placed into based on training?
it really, so we do individualized case management. So we go by what the client wants, right? So we're not going to tell the client, oh, you should do this, because if we are telling them what to do, what are the odds that they're going to follow through if they're not interested? So if the client comes to us and says, listen, I want to be a PCA and I just don't have the money, we're going to find a PCA training. We're going to find a CNA training. If they need assistance for getting in and paying for that training, we're going to support them with that assistance. We're going to support them with transportation. We're going to support them with taking the test. So it's really individualized by the person who comes in and what they want to do.
And Maureen asks, are the services offered in Spanish?
So we do have a Spanish case manager, but we do not have one in this program. If there's a Spanish speaking client who is interested, we do have someone who can translate for them. Currently right now, we have an income support specialist who is bilingual in English and Turkish.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Patty. All righty. So I'm not real sure what we're gonna do. Are we voting at the end? Are we
So
gonna vote
I
as
have
individual?
a voting document
Okay,
that basically all voting members can just put your name, you say yes, no, or abstain, but we have 4 different things that we're voting on tonight.
mhm.
So do I want to put that up now or wait till after all 4 are presented?
I would say we should wait until all 4 is presented.
Okay. So
If we
yeah,
need-
everyone who's in this meeting, there will be a link to a Google form. You just click yes, no, abstain for each of these different votes that we're going to be doing this evening.
Okay, our next presenter will be Catholic Charities. Kayla, is that, am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, that it's Khalil.
Okay, Khalil. So you're next, thank you.
Okay, I believe I sent because I'm on my phone right now. I'm not able to pull out anything from my phone, but I sent a PowerPoint to Adam.
Yep, I got that. I will get it started right now.
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, ready for the first slide. So okay.
Oh, sorry, my Zoom is acting up a bit. There we go.
Okay, can I go now? No, just no. I don't know what happened.
I think Adam's frozen. I think you can probably go ahead and start presenting.
Okay, awesome. No problem.
Sorry.
So,
Oh, there he is. He's back.
it's okay. So, okay, so let me introduce myself first. So my name is Khalil Declet. I am the /case manager for Catholic Charities in San Jose. So we are actually located on 290 Grand Avenue. That's primarily where I'm located. It's a family center. And then we have 2 more locations. We have another one at 790, which is strictly just preschool. And we have another one that is on Ferry Street. It used to be St. Francis. Now it's All Saints School. So the second slide where I don't know about him. Oh, I'm just gonna keep going if he's able to. Okay, so our mission is basically reflecting God's love. We partner with all to strengthen families and inspire people to achieve their fullest potentials. And we envision a future where all individuals and families achieve greater safety, stability, and independence in a compassionate community where people are valued, connected, and take care of one another. Just align with you guys on what you guys do. We also are dedicated to improving the quality of life in our neighborhood, and strictly, or to say, in the community, because we are in the heart of the Fairhaven community. So I should be Central San Jose. So now I'm just gonna talk about a little bit about the youth program. So Central San Jose's youth services, we provide services to underserved youth and families living below the poverty level, located in the heart of the Fairhaven community. Grounded in the most recent literature on youth development, we continue to offer after-school programs. Some of our programs include, but not limited to, career development, basketball, mentoring, academic support, and health and wellness curriculums. Our programs effectively balance academic support with a variety of structured, structured, engaging, and enjoyable extracurricular activities. And due to our dynamic program structure, some result measures youth improvement in academic performance, social, cultural competency, and character development. In like matter, we incorporate hidden curriculums that teaches values, habits aside from formal curriculum content. And Central San Jose also trains its staff on providing best practices when servicing youth. We meet once every four. We meet once for 4 hours on basically the 40 developmental assets. Through our thorough training, staff obtain the knowledge of external and internal assets, in which lightens the communication filter in order to provide assistance in healthy development upon New Haven adolescents. Not only do we provide enrichment programs to our youth, but we also partner up with other agencies to provide services to disenfranchised youth and families, such as supplemental resource. So that goes into, we also have a diaper bank, we have a food pantry, we also do rental assistance, so anything in regards to like UI, utilities, back rent, security deposits, things of that nature. So that's basically what the services that we also provide when youth are integrated into our program. And that's everything. But the last slide is just we had started partnering up with the Yale Esteem program, where we have like a mentoring program with Yale University, where once a month, we're trying to do twice a month. We have to incorporate some type of way to do that, where they come and they talk to our youth in regards to the Common App, basically just college application, their letters, stuff like that, just to get them ready for the next step after high school.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, thank you, Khalil.
Anytime.
Our next one is a match letter of support for the FEMA. I don't know what that is. 3 minutes.
Adam, I think you're muted. If you're trying.
Oh,
to
am I?
speak.
No, I'm not muted.
Adam is. I think he's trying to.
Oh,
talk.
Adam muted me.
Oh, no, I muted myself apparently. Sorry, I was having technical difficulties there for a minute.
Okay.
I just, before we moved on from Khalil, I just wanted to say that Maureen in the chat wants to know how much are you requesting and is this a renewal?
It is a renewal. So I believe we're requesting the same amount as last year. I believe it was 19,123, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, I think, yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Diane. I think we're ready to move on.
You're ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. I lost my spot here. A match letter of support.
That's me.
That's who.
Yes, Marcia, that's you.
Thank you, Lee. Hi, everyone. I don't know who I met back in December, but it's nice to see you all again and meet you. My name is Marcia LaFemina. I am the a president and owner of a business in North Branford called Penn Globe. We manufacture outdoor streetlights. We actually did make the fixtures on the original Grand Avenue Bridge, but not the new ones, oddly enough. So we are in the process of working towards bringing a very ambitious training program to Fairhaven When I first met with you, you met with my brother and my partner last month. He spoke to you all. We're hoping to move into the 26 or 20 Mill Street building. We have a letter of intent, which we did not have last time we spoke. So we are that much closer. In order to pull this off, it's a combination of amazing group of partners, many of which you'll recognize between the city and economic development, the community foundation, various manufacturers, including ASA Abloy. And the concept is that my company is going to move into the building. 75% of my company is bilingual, and we are going to become the trainers for what we hope is going to be conservatively over 4 years, 500 manufacturing jobs that will be high-paying jobs, not service industry jobs. It doesn't lend itself. The highlights that you will see in I did a sheet here to show you all. It's kind of hard, but the concept is we're calling it the manufacturing and technical community hub, because much like the other partners here in Fairhaven, we want to and are required to provide as much wraparound services as we can. If you can imagine someone being able to, take their lunch break from the training sessions and have somebody on site from one of the community service organizations to help them out with energy assistance or whatever it might be. So the jobs are out there, the money is out there. There's private money potentially to flow into all of this. But our requests are, continue to be, let us know if we're off track. If we think it belongs in Fairhaven. I've thought so for many, many years that this is where it belongs. It's a great location. Transportation will not be a barrier for folks who want to come and have a job. We're going to be running flex schedules with a big focus on a 25-hour-a-week training schedule for mothers in particular, so that they can put their children on the bus and be there when the bus returns and have dinner on the table and do homework. So there's a lot going on. And right now, last time we met you was just prior to the first grant request, and therefore the letter of support. Thank you from all of us. That was run through the DECD, the Department of Economic and Community Development. Their grant is for the building and to make it suitable for a training facility. All the hard things, if you will, the machinery, the equipment, building out a loading dock, things like that. The second grant is due later this month on the 20th. That is being run from the new Office of Workforce Strategy. They are only funding training. Couldn't ask for equipment under that grant, couldn't ask for training dollars under the previous grant. So together, between these two grants, this is very subjective, this is one person's opinion, we here in New Haven will finally have a manufacturing presence for the training. It's been very Hartford centric or New London centric. And I think I would be honored to be able to be a part of getting this money into New Haven. So we need a letter of support. Unless you choose to change it, you're supporting us and saying, we hope that you think it's of value. And that's all we're really asking, is that you think it would be of value if we can pull it off. So there you go. You have the location, what we're looking for, and we've been told that we could know as early as the end of March on both of these grants, which would be a wonderful thing to show up in April and tell you all we're getting ready. One of the big things we have going for us, because there is a building, because I'm a manufacturer, because we don't have to write a curriculum the way other people have to start at the very beginning. We're considered shovel ready, and that might help direct dollars to us if choices have to be made between one group or another. We here in Fairhaven, we could easily be up and running and training people by the mid to late fall. Full steam ahead, probably inching along the way, but full steam by the end, by mid-September. So that's what I have. If you have any questions, I put my phone number, my cell phone, and my email. Anybody has any ideas? The biggest thing we're looking for from the community beyond the letter is that we're going to have this space dedicated for the community, so rent-free. So for instance, I'll speak to Khalil if he's still on the line, if he wanted to come and tell people about his services and just kind of float through and have a presentation to the students. We would welcome those kinds of things, so people don't have to leave and get on the bus and go across town to do other. So I'm rambling. I could talk forever about this, so I will stop unless you all have any questions for me.
All right. Okay, so our next would be the river, excuse me, guys, my throat is not the best tonight. Riverfront Development. Miss Francesca. Who's doing that?
That's Fareshta. I think you're muted, Fareshta.
I'm muted again?
No,
No?
Fareshta's muted. I think she's talking, but you're muted, Fareshta.
Okay.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes.
This is Fareshte Bekrat. It's an exciting day for me here. I've been waiting for this for a long, long time. I came to Fairhaven Heights in 2005, the end of that, from downtown New Haven, because I found it a lot more exciting, with a lot of more opportunities, diversity, the beauty that no other parts of New Haven has, that this neighborhood, Quinnipiac Avenue, provides together with Fairhaven and Fairhaven Heights. Tonight, I'm not giving you a presentation. I'm just giving you an update. Hopefully, in the next meeting, I will give you more presentation. Some of you may be aware of Quinnipiac Avenue, where we have some 23 units built in a long stretch of Quinnipiac River shoreline, with condominiums and apartments, renovations, new buildings, all occupied. And I would consider it to be all very quality, very fine design and management. This was part of an overall plan that was going to be and is going to happen as what we call it Coastal Harbor Village. The river runs through it because it is in both sides of Quinnipiac River on the Quinnipiac Avenue and the Front Street. The first two phases are completed. The next two phases, which is phase 3 and phase 4, are going to place at 185, 195, 201, 213, and 2 Front Street. The buildings that used to be the Harloco and vacant land with the lobster pots, and another vacant land across the street on Front Street. The vision we have is to have something that will elevate maybe the last large parcels of land on Quinnipiac River near the bridge, our beautiful Grand Avenue Bridge, to be a place for mixed use, residential, commercial, and as I have in mind with a boutique hotel, since we don't have any in the whole entire New Haven waterfront, to make people experience what does it mean to come and visit and live in the water and become later on a member of that society. The project has, as it was presented before, we have applied for brownfield cleanup. And I don't want to say the details, but for whatever reason, it was not granted in the last December 14, the 14th round. But that is not going to stop me. Nothing ever stopped me in my entire life. This is not going to stop me. And so we're going to continue, with or without it, to develop the project. What I am sharing with you is your support, your involvement, your input to what is going to be maybe the jewel of Quinnipiac River to be developed in this complex. It is comprehensive, it is expensive, but it is with a vision, the vision of revival, the vision of inclusiveness, the vision of architectural integrity, and the vision of making people use the water, use the area, use the Grand Avenue, use the Fairhaven as something that can come from with a car, pedestrian, and with the boats. We do have permit from DEP for our seawall and for our loading docks and transient marina. And I just started talking to the city about the design part and the process of evaluation and a permit as what is the best way to go ahead and develop the project. I am very excited because I've been in this kind of things for, you don't know, 5 decades, more than that. But this is where I would say it is the most diverse and within the community need an inspiration and something that we can really lift. Fairhaven has been, I wouldn't say, but neglected in many ways compared to the other part of the city. However, has the most beautiful and unique, absolutely unique. I call it Quinnipiac Riviera. When I came here, I called it, I may be nuts, but I called it that. And it is very, very unique. And I'm hoping I can work with you, with all of you. My door is open. My office is on 195 Front Street, to get this thing done as soon as possible and as complete as I can see it. If you have any question, I am ready.
Thank you, Fereshteh. Could you just say your phone number and I'll put it in the chat if people want to give you a call, or your email
My
address?
phone number in the office is 203-786-5333. My email, you want to?
That would be great, yes.
Be happy to. Is F like a Frank, my first initial, and my last name, BEKHRAD. And I'm an old timer at AOL.com. If you don't mind, I'm a dinosaur. So what do you expect?
Thank you so much.
Any question?
Okay. Thank you. Alrighty, our next.
We do have a quick question from Natalie. Aside from a transient marina, what are the other components of the mixed use project? Residential, retail?
Okay, there are 70 units of retired senior housing. There is 12,000 square feet of commercial comprised of a restaurant, an oyster bar, a coffee shop, specialty restaurants, specialty stores, on the lower level, and facilities for seniors on the second floor, comprised of rehab, workshops, library area, reading, a small performing center. And on the upper level and across the street, 22 units of a boutique hotel that will allow people to come and live on the Quinnipiac River and experience what does it mean to be on the water. So it is not only a one component, it's a magnitude of mixture of elements that not only feed back into each other for survival, for use, for growth, but also feeding into the community. As I mentioned, we have about 500 linear feet of bulkhead seawall. Along with this, we have about 456 linear feet of floating docks for transient boating facilities. And it is, I emphasize, is transient. It's not for the owner user. It's not for people who will tie it back. It's for people coming to downtown, my downtown.
Okay, thank you. If you guys have any other questions for her phone number and her email is in the chat. So we're gonna move along. We're getting behind on our schedule here. The next thing would be anything to talk about on environment or immigration and health tonight? No. We do have Ms. LaGroix and Dr. LaGroix that's going to speak on the COVID update for us, please.
Yes, thank you, Diane. Very quickly, just to make everybody aware, we continue, although we are, like the rest of the city, seeing a decrease in positivity in Fairhaven. We're still high in Fairhaven. The week right before New Year's, we peaked at a 50% positivity rate out of testing done at our site, which is done every day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 1 at 350 Grand Avenue. That number's come down. The last week, it was about 23%. And the demand for testing is coming down as well. But just want everyone to know that we're there 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. In addition, on the testing front, we have, through a program with the federal government, access to a really sizable, I'm talking about thousands of test kits, rapid test kits for COVID. We're trying to get them out to Fairhaven residents and Fairhaven organizations. We're working with all of the schools in Fairhaven, with organizations like ULA, Junta, etc. I see Kirk on the call. I was actually thinking, Kirk, I'm gonna call you. Maybe we can get some of the test kits to you so you can distribute them through the library. The bottom line is they're free, they're available. We want to get them out to the community. On the vaccine side, we're vaccinating every day, 8:30 to 5, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesday and Thursday, it's 8:30 to 7 p.m. We do ask for people to make an appointment, but truth be known, if you show up, the odds are very high that we'll be able to accommodate you even without an appointment. But an appointment makes it, ensures that you're not ending up waiting unduly long. The last thing I want to make this community aware of is that we were one of a small number of health centers in the country that were given a supply of the, I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it's the Pfizer approved antiviral agent called Paxlovid. which is the one that has like the to date, at least, the highest efficacy for treatment orally. We have a supply. We want to give it to folks who are at risk. One of the keys, however, is that if this drug is going to be effective, it has to be started. It's a 5-day course, but it has to be started within 5 days of either symptoms or diagnosis. So once somebody has it, particularly if you're considered to be at more risk, age, obesity, comorbid illnesses such as diabetes, lung disease, etc., we have a supply, and I'm going to put my extension in the my email extension in the chat, and you should just reach out to us, and we could facilitate that if you met the criteria and there were no contraindications. I mean, it's not like I can guarantee it for everybody, but for those who are eligible, it's available. And this is something that is in short supply throughout the country, so we're very fortunate to have a supply here in Fairhaven. And with that, that's my update, Diane. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, guys?
In the chat,
Dave and Jennifer both want to know if there's a way that they can help distribute tests.
So if I mean, we want people to get the tests who are going to use them and going to need them. The supply that we are getting, at least at this point in time, is every week. So it's so far so good. We're getting a significant, like just today we got a shipment of 70 boxes. Each box contains 45 kits, and each kit contains 2 tests. So we have a lot of tests, and we believe, at least for now, that we're going to be getting this on a regular basis. So the goal is to get it out to people who will likely use it in the short term and not just sort of keep it in their house, forever. So absolutely, if there's a means if you have a mechanism for doing that, again, I'm going to stick my email in the chat. Just let us know. We are happy to work with you to figure out the best way to get this to you to get it distributed.
Okay. Thank you. Mary Wayne, Mr. Hunter.
Yes, Diana.
Hi.
Hi. Do you want our presentation?
Please.
I'd like to introduce our executive director of Mary Wade Home, the nursing home campus is Doug Mellons, and Doug is going to do the presentation for Mary Wade Home tonight. So be nice to him. It's his first meeting. We want him to come back.
We will.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, as David said, my name is Doug Mellons, and I'm the executive director of the Mary Wade Home. Been there a little over a year. Really a terrific place, as you probably all already know. Proud to be part of this community. So we're here today to request actually 2 letters for support for 2 different grants. The first falls under public service and is to provide funding to supplement the cost of transportation service that provides rides to low-income seniors in our community. These services align with the Fairhaven Community Management team mission because the transportation program provides much needed services and helps improve the quality of life as well for those who need these services. In terms of the grant amount, we are looking at requesting $19,173 for this particular transportation grant. These dollars will specifically be used in large part for to help reimburse for drivers' salaries. The funding would allow us to continue to serve low-income individuals and seniors who are in need of adequate and reliable transportation in our community, which includes medical transportation and on the weekends, non-medical appointments. The second program falls under facilities improvements, specifically in this case to help cover the cost to replace windows at our residential care home. This aligns with the management team's mission because Mary Wade is committed to the Fairhaven community by maintaining our property, which holds distinction as one of Fairhaven's oldest buildings, still in operation and serving the community. Under this grant, we are seeking $27,502, and these dollars will be used to cover the costs for some replacement of windows that are much needed in the Mary Wade residential care home that we call the Boardman residence. These windows are in need of replacement for safety, for proper operability, and with that will come energy efficiency. I do want to mention that last year we did receive a CDBG grant to cover about half the cost of the total project to replace these windows. And since then, we have raised some money and received some tax credits to supplement some additional costs. So the remaining cost for us to complete this project is the $27,502 at this time. So with that, that is the two areas that we're requesting our letters for support.
Okay.
Just to
Any comments or
clarify,
question?
are you requesting 2 letters of support, separate letters, or 1 letter of support?
I believe it'll be.
I think it's one. I think it's 1 letter, 2 paragraphs.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you know, I think you also asked how can you, the management team, be of help? And you could be of help in spreading the word about our transportation program. It's a free service to anyone over the age of 62 who is not on Title 19 or Medicaid. And it's for them to go to a doctor's office or a dentist during the weekdays.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, our next person is Mr.
Sorry,
Morrison. How are you?
Diane, before
Yes.
we move on to the next one, I just wanted to say we've now had all 4 of the votes that will be taken this evening have been spoken about. So right now I'm going to put a link into the chat. And this should also go out by email after the meeting. Some of these are time sensitive, so I gave us 72 hours to go ahead and vote on this. But you should be able to click on that link. And if you are a voting member, you can put your name here and vote on the 4 different grants that have been requested. They're not in the same order as they were presented in, because Mary Wade went last and Match went before them. But these are all the things, and then go ahead and submit. If you are curious, if you are a voting member, you can always check out the links in the emails you get, or fairhavencmt.org has links to these as well. And it'll be based on your attendance up into tonight. Doesn't count. Tonight will count for next month. But yeah, so I just wanted to let that be out there.
Okay. Next, Mr. Morrison.
Hello, everybody. Lot going on at the library as usual. Just wanted to highlight a couple of upcoming events. All throughout the month of February, kids will be able to observe Black History Month with a scavenger hunt in which our youth librarian, Jenny Nicolelli, has come up with famous Black individuals in New Haven's history to locate around the library. Pretty educational. People of any age might learn some parts of New Haven's history that they did not previously know. So please come in. You can do the scavenger hunt any day or time that we're open. The other thing that we are excited to bring for the first time this Saturday is new Ward 14 Alder Sarah Miller will be doing a once a month. And like I said, this is the first time she'll be having an opportunity to meet with constituents. It'll be from 10 to 11 on Saturday. We're hoping to do this on the first Saturday of each month. I have a feeling that today's big news about Granite Cafe might come up, but if you have any questions about New Haven affairs or want to know how you can get involved, bring those questions and that energy to us on this Saturday. And like I say, hopefully Saturdays to come. I've heard that our publicity folks might do some filming of this on Saturday. So I hope that we'll have a good turnout of Fairhaven folks and support Sarah's first time doing constituent hours with us. Thanks a lot.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. Kirk, quick question from Laverne. Were you doing any other Black History events this month besides the scavenger hunt?
Around the system, that's the event that we're holding here.
All right, Diane, I had to mute you. Sorry if you're trying to talk right now. Diane, you gotta unmute.
Yes, I'm unmuting myself.
Sorry.
That's okay. So we have our last person here, Pratt, computer science, career skills and programs.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the time. I think I know many of you, or at least through here, if nowhere else. As I've said a few times I've been on here, I've been trying to really focus in when we introduce new things to make sure that we provide our neighbors in Fairhaven with as early access as possible. So I got three things, two primary. One is a high school program. We've secured 50 scholarships, 38 of them are already accounted for. I've got 12 more. I'm dropping the brochure in. I also have a very excited that I'll be able to put a bilingual computer science educator in place. And so for the high school students, we're able to offer support in Spanish as well. This is a year-long, really cool program. They're going to walk out of here with very high-end skills in computer science, can go straight into a job or compete for scholarships in premier computer science programs. And by the middle of this year, I'll likely have it worked out where these kids will also get a significant amount of college credit during their time in high school while they're with us. So that program brochure is there, fully free. Only condition is that they're going to New Haven Public High School, and we even have bus passes for them to be able to get here and get back. The second is a brand new program that I just am launching on March 1st. We want to had a target to support 18 to 28-year-olds who are unemployed or chronically underemployed in New Haven. And so we are launching on March 7th a program for that age group. Again, only requirement is they're a New Haven resident. 4-month full-time program, 9 to 2, Monday through Thursday. Same thing, they're going to walk out in 4 months with the ability to go straight into an entry-level tech job. At the end of that 4 months, most of them who want it will be able to get a paid 2-month internship at a local business to further accelerate their ability to get into the into these good jobs. So that's the second brochure I've put in place. I have at this point that program's I believe got 12 seats left in it. That one we also open to the public. We charge $8,000 for that program. That's what we're a nonprofit, so that's literally what it costs us to service that program. but I've been able to secure 20 full scholarships for New Haven 18 to 28-year-olds. And again, about a dozen of those are still open. And I'd really love to, as much as possible, provide those and at least make sure folks in Fairhaven, again, in our backyard, know about them. So those are two. I'm happy to entertain any questions on that. And then the third, while I'm on the call, is I'm hiring, and so I'm putting a job description in place in the chat as well. Anybody who wants to come work with us, work with these kids, program coordinator. We're a really fun place to work. Again, I'd love to get somebody from Fairhaven. All of the employees are New Haven, or I think 2 are from West Haven. But I want to put that out there as well, as I just kind of worked out funding for that today. Would love somebody there as well who's bilingual, but that's not an absolute requirement. So that's it. I know you squeezed me in last minute, so I want to be respectful of time, but happy to answer any detailed questions on any of these programs. My main concern again is, as much as possible, getting the word out around Fairhaven. The programs the scholarships go quickly, as you can imagine. And I get concerned that we don't do a good enough job in our own backyard of getting word out about these things when we do them.
Any comments, questions? All righty. I'm gonna ask my co-chair to finish the meeting. I have an important phone call I have to take right now. And I hope all you guys have a pleasant month, and I will speak to you guys soon. Good night, everyone.
Hey, Diane, I'll take over for you. Okay, folks, so let me just start with an announcement that I was scheduled to make, which is after 2-year hiatus because of COVID, Quinnipiac River Fest will be back on June 4th. There's a new owner of the Quinnipiac Marina. The event that I'm about to describe is absolutely and totally free of charge. There will be on June 4th, I'll tell you the detailed hours a little bit further on, but it'll probably be around 1 to 6 or 1. There will be music. There will be food. There will be a charge for the food. There'll be some sampling. There'll be beer tasting, canoeing, kayaking. There'll be activities for children. There will be many, many things. It's been a while since we've done Riverfest, and we want to bring that back in full force. So please watch out for further announcements, but save the early afternoon into the evening for food and fun at the Quinnipiac Marina. Again, June 4th, 2022. With that announcement done, we'll move on to the reports from the alders. I did earlier notice that Alder Ellen Kupo is on. If you're still on, Alder Kupo, if you would unmute yourself and share with us any information that you'd
Thank
like
you,
to
Lee. I appreciate that. Hi, everybody. I'm Ellen Kupo. I'm the alder for Ward 8. The biggest announcement I have to share this evening is that next Tuesday, February 8th at 6:30 p.m., there is an item on the Board of Zoning Appeals agenda, the BZA, related to a project that's been proposed in the Jocelyn Square neighborhood of Ward 8. This is just a stone's throw from Fairhaven from James Street. I think my internet went out.
We can still hear you, Alder Kupo. You're just not moving.
Right. You're just frozen. So if you would just turn your video off, that'll give you more bandwidth, and we'll hear you better. Sorry to. Oh,
excellent.
Go ahead.
Thanks. That one's old now. That baby is now 2 years old. So yes. So sorry about the internet issue. we have multiple meetings happening in my house at the moment, but so on Tuesday night, there's going to be a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting where an item is on the agenda, and the applicant has applied for 3 special exceptions to allow an adult cabaret to be put up at 203 Wallace Street. So along with neighbors in the Jocelyn Square neighborhood and other folks across Ward 8, I've been organizing, and I know that Alder Miller has been really supportive in this as well. But we are very opposed to the project. The owner of this proposed development is a former owner of Scores and the Key Club, both of which have a pretty troubled past in terms of violence at those clubs. The owner is applying for 3 special exceptions, 1 to lessen parking, which we know is going to put an undue burden on residents on an already very short, heavily trafficked street. 2, this proposed project is within 630 feet of Jocelyn Square Park, a place where folks and families and children gather. And 3, we had a community meeting about a week ago, and Lieutenant Fumigati, who I know was hoping to speak on this as well, gave some really helpful insight about just how dangerous this actually is for the neighborhood, in terms of violence, in terms of this BYOB policy that the project owner, or the property owner is seeking, where folks are able to bring alcohol onto the site far after the bar is done serving. So this is till 6 in the morning. So we have neighbors. I see Eli on. Eli and Joan Kavanaugh have been really instrumental in creating a flyer for neighbors that we intend to circulate through some canvassing this weekend. I'm also working on a letter campaign that I will send out through my email list. And it's a letter campaign that folks can sign their names onto. It's similar to a petition, where there's text provided about why we are rejecting, or why we're asking the BZA to reject this proposal. With some of the, if not all of the items that I just listed, are the reasons that I've listed. So we're hoping to get support for other members of the Fairhaven Community Management team to also stand with us and support and oppose the project. I think I'm going to put my contact info in the chat, as well as a reminder. I will send the link to the letter campaign to my colleague from the 14th ward, and happy to send it to the management team executive board as well for distribution. But asking for your support. This is really important to the neighborhood. Folks in Jocelyn Square do not want this business there, and we're doing everything that we can to organize to get the BZA to reject it. So thanks. That's really the most substantial update I have for this evening. But again, I'll put all of my info in the chat. Thanks.
Thank you, Alder Cooper. We appreciate you bringing this to our attention. I don't know if I thought there might be someone who lives in that Jocelyn Square Park area on this meeting. If there is, would you like to say anything about that?
Hi, Lee. I live this is Eli Westerman. I live in the Jocelyn Square neighborhood. I don't have much to add to what Alder Cupo said. I think she's awesome, has done so much work with us behind the scenes to try to block this, but everyone I talk to in the neighborhood is very opposed to it. We'll be canvassing this weekend to get signatures and then hopefully get people to give testimony. We'd really appreciate it if other members of the Fairhaven community would help our little neighborhood out.
Great. As we go through the other alders, when you see your alder's email and phone number, please call them and tell them you oppose this basically a place where women dance partially clothed. That's basically what an adult cabaret is. I do not see Alder Decker nor Alder Festa. Alder Miller is not with us, but she submitted a report. I believe, Abby, you're gonna.
Yeah, sorry, Lee. Before we get that, we seem to have a question from Anstris Farwell.
Yep. Go ahead, Anstris, unmute yourself and let us know.
This is Anstris Farwell. I live in Wooster Square, and I serve on the management team for downtown Wooster Square. And our management team is also very involved in this because it's right on the border, like a lot of critical things, English Station, many other things that we've always worked in partnership with Fairhaven about. The Lieutenant Fumiati isn't here tonight. When he spoke with us recently, he said that one of his concerns beyond the background of this club where, there was a shooting with a death and 5 people injured, is that right now, as we know, citywide, the police department is down about 80 patrol positions. And it would be very hard to cover policing that's the level that is already known that they need for Fairhaven district, and also have this additional wild card to deal with. So it's on the edge of your neighborhood, but it could become something, as it has in the past, that actually drains the ability of your district police force to do the kind of community policing that you expect from them. So that's all I have to say. And if Lieutenant gets here before the meeting closes, he'll have a lot of other detail to share with you.
Thank you, Anstris. We encourage people to contact Lieutenant Fumiati via text is the best way to reach him and ask him. We already know he does not support this project at all and will be working with us to try to keep it from coming to fruition. Okay, I believe, Abby, you have a email from Alder Miller.
I do. Alder Miller expresses her regret that she cannot attend. She was assigned to the Board of Alders City Services and Environmental Policy Committee, and it is a conflict, a timing conflict. So she encourages everybody who has anything that they'd like to talk about to go see her at hours at the New Haven Public Library. But she'll be sending regular reports. So this is the letter. Essentially, I'll go through it quickly because I'm not sure we can read it. The Quinnipiac River Park and other Fairhaven parks are in need of attention. And so Alder Santana and Alder Miller are meeting with city departments to begin that process. And they are really looking for community input. For some of the other Fairhaven parks, Alder Miller's working with Bill Carone, Alder Crespo, and other people in the city to look at the conditions of the parks, where they need to be spruced up, and just kind of do a review of all the neighborhood parks in Fairhaven, which is great. Front Street and Ferry Street, there's going to be some measures to address speeding on both of those. They've gotten some money secured to do that on Ferry Street, which is great. And on Front Street, they've already introduced some measures. And so if there's any other places where you notice speeding that you think is endangering pedestrians, please let Alder Miller know. She would love to hear from you. The Grant Cafe. So we received the decision today from the liquor board, the Connecticut Liquor License Board, that the Grant Cafe's liquor license has not been renewed. And there is documentation on the decision. If anybody would like to receive that, you can email me. There's a letter. So this was in response to a lot of community involvement in September, the interrupting violence after a shooting in this parking lot, and various encounters with various illegal activities that were happening around there. A number of community members gathered to request that this license not be renewed. So there was a hearing that happened in November or December, and this is the result of the hearing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at the property. There's also the decision came out that there will no longer be any liquor allowed sold at that location, even with new ownership. So that's a very important update on something that we've been involved in. Some of us have been involved in. Alder Miller also wanted to express that she's opposed to the Planet Venus request. So she is working with Alder Cupo and others to deny the special exception that has been requested. So feel free to get in touch with her with more information about that. CT Transit. I'll just read this because I'm not sure I can summarize it. Prior to the Grand Avenue Bridge closing, the 212 bus route ran over the bridge to connect Fairhaven Heights and Fairhaven with downtown. When the bridge closed, an alternate route for the 212 bus was established with lengthy transfer at Walmart down Clinton Avenue to Grand. It was expected that the more direct over-the-bridge route would be established once the bridge reopened, but that has not occurred, and CT Transit is beginning a safe analysis to make the current route permanent. Mr. Sandeep of the city's Department of Transportation, Traffic, and Parking is working with Alders Santana, Antunes, and me, and Miller, to advocate for the more direct over-the-bridge route to be established. We may need community support for this and will keep us in the loop. In the interim, if this impacts us directly, please let Alder Miller know. Sorry, I'll go through these fast. We've already heard from Sue Lagarde for the at-home COVID test, so I can skip that. Strong school redevelopment. So there has been an initial preliminary report, or nearly completed, and that will be shared and distributed as soon as it's ready. So there's movement there with the consultants that were, the outside consultants that were reached out for. So more to come there. Property reevaluation. If you'd like to do a hearing, if you don't think your property was revalued at a fair market price, you can file an appeal with the Board of Assessment Appeals. And there's an email address to email. I will put it in the chat.
I think there's quite a few links and emails here that we might want to also email people after the meeting.
Okay, that sounds good. I know we're running up against our time limit, so I'll make these extremely fast. Committee on Student Elections has vacancies, and the president of the Board of Alders is looking to fill that. So Sarah Miller's asking for those who are interested to let her know by the 6th. And that the New Hillville neighbors are organizing in opposition to relocation of the Apt Foundation's methadone clinic. This has been written up in the New Haven Independent, so you can consult that to get the backstory. And so they've organized a petition, and we will distribute this letter from Alder Miller after the meeting because there's a lot of information in it. It's a really comprehensive update. So I'll email that out to everybody. And that's all for me.
All excellent pieces of information. I will just point out that it is a huge victory for our community. Not only is Grand Cafe has had their liquor license revoked, the decision is that no other business can go in there that serves alcohol because of its proximity to so much residential space. The community has changed since liquor was permitted at that site, and now that is abolished, not only for them, but for any other business that comes into that area. So if you're thinking of opening a business and you need space, a space is gonna become available. So keep that in mind. I do not see Alder Ernie Santiago or Alder Crespo on the meeting Zoom. So if we hear something from them, or if anyone has any information from them, please encourage them to participate in our meetings. Okay, so just before we close, I want to just bring up, Darlene mentioned that for March, we're going to see what's going on with the count, with the COVID count. And if it seems appropriate and library policy permits it, there will be an opportunity to gather in the program room for people who are more comfortable in a personal setting. This is open, obviously, to any of you who would prefer to do that. Our librarian, Kirk, will be facilitating that. I believe Darlene will be there. And depending on what is going on with COVID, maybe all of us will be there. But we'll have to see when the date gets a little bit closer. Also, if you know of someone who had been attending meetings before or who's interested and is just not a Zoom person, please let them know once we let you know so that we can have even broader community participation. With that said, we have only the adjournment left. Before we do that,
We have a quick question for you, Lee, from Alexandria.
okay, and the question is, I don't see, can you read? I don't see it.
She's not muted, but we can't hear you. So I don't know if your mic's not working.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, yes.
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Alexandria Reeves. I work with CARE. As some of you may know, it is the Community Alliance for Research and Engagement office located at SCSU, Southern Connecticut State University. And we have myself, Alexandria, and Miss Ruth Rodriguez. She's also on this call. We were assigned to the community of Fairhaven to promote outreach in regards of health and wellness and also a diabetes prevention program. I will share this information also in the chat, but just really quick before we end. It is a Yale Griffin Prevention Research Center that has been offering an online diabetes prevention program to the New Haven community as part of a research project. The goal of this program is to improve diet quality, physical activity levels, blood sugar, body weight status, and blood pressure amongst people who live in New Haven and who may be at risk for diabetes. This research purpose is to assess how to deliver this type of program and to learn about ways to support people in their healthy lifestyle goals. This program is eligible to participants that will enroll for 1 year online onto a program called Incenta Health. They will receive access to an online diabetes prevention program, which can be completed on a smartphone or a tablet. They will also be supported from a local community health worker, someone that will provide support and intervention, as well as community resources and referrals, such as access to health food.
Alexandra, can I interrupt quickly?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. We actually can't have presentations that haven't been priorly on the agenda. So why don't we rendezvous offline and then we'll get in touch about possibly presenting next month. Does that sound okay?
Oh, that's fine. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so should I just enter my information into the chat?
Yeah, that's fine. And I'll take down your email.
So Abby will be in contact with you about a presentation next month, but if you share information with us, because it's time sensitive, we can also put that in the minutes for distribution in the meantime. Thank you, Abby.
Thank you. Yeah.
So again, I just want to thank everybody who has stayed with us. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the community that you help us to create. Again, please celebrate and share with friends. You'll see in the New Haven Independent an article about the Grand Cafe, and we will be sharing additional detailed information with you. At this point, I would just like to ask for someone to please propose that we adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. It is an adjournment, so we don't have to have a second. We just want to thank everyone and wish you all a very happy good night. Thank you all. Goodbye, everyone.